Okay.
We know the program, yo. What us guys said won yesterday? Defense, yo. They don't score 120. We can't score 120 points. They can't score 120 points when we beat them. 85, 78. That's all they scoring today. Lockdown, yo. Let's put them on lockdown. 1, 2, 3. Aggressive. Lockdown.
The Sonics are ready. How about the Suns? Let's go to Hannah Storm.
Well, Dick, I talked to a very determined Charles Barkley this morning. He told me he wants to come out right away and show Houston I'm back. So he's asked Paul Westphal to get him the ball in the lane on the first 3 plays of the game. Westphal told me Barkley doesn't have to ask. I'm going to get him the ball as much as he wants and very often early in the game because, as Charles puts it, if I'm going to go down, I'm going to go down shooting. Dick?
All right, Anna, he wants the ball. What's the key strategy here early?
Why limit it to just 3 times down the court? I'd give it to him every single time. The key for Barkley is going to have trouble in the low post because of Hakeem's defensive dominance. Horry's been doing a good job. Barkley's got to step out, face the basket, either pull the quick trigger on the jumper, get that to go. When they come up on him, get to the hoop. For Hakeem and the Rockets, dump the ball down in low. Get it to him every time. Get the Suns back on their heel. You heard their talk at the beginning. They want to get up there in the 120 points for Houston.
And the key men with the whistles. Dick Pavetta, Dan Crawford, Paul Mahalik. And we're ready to go in Houston just after noon Texas time. And this series, the last 8 times these teams have played, last year's playoffs this year, the average margin of victory, 19 points. When you win big.
Which makes the start of the game so critical.
Kenny Smith, Houston gets the first chance. Johnson takes him. Chilcutt with Barkley. Horry and Green.
First possession, dump it down inside.
Olajuwon works against Klein. Chilcutt can't hit the putback. Barkley out of the crowd. Let's see how they get it to Sir Charles. Unable to connect. 11 in a row misfired.
They executed the cross screen beautifully, bobbled on the entry pass. Chilcutt seems a little nervous. He missed that easy stick back.
Olajuwon takes the first 2 Rocket shots. Still no score. Barkley with his second rebound. Wesley Pearson, rebound Green. Ripped down by Horry. 3-on-1. KJ back. Drexler. Rockets strike first.
AC Green told us before the game that he was going to have a great game himself. He was very quiet.
And right on cue, AC Green.
More pressure needed by Kenny Smith on the ball. KJ can't be allowed, if you're Houston, to just pick you apart with pinpoint passing.
And Clyde the Glide. 3 for Smith. Kenny Smith.
The best thing is happening for Houston right now. Hakeem and Drexler are handling the ball every time. The guys like Chilcutt, Horry, and Smith are playing the complementary roles.
And Barkley against Horry. Quick move by Barkley. And the drought ends at the 9:46 mark of this opening quarter.
Such a difference from yesterday when he went quickly to the hoop today. Yesterday, too slow.
Horry for 3. Saved by Olajuwon. Joaquin cold at the start. Horry with the putback. Well, those were the kind of multiple chances to score that Houston didn't get in Phoenix.
Houston, not a good offensive rebounding team. In fact, the worst still in the playoffs of all the teams.
KJ off the mark. Horry rebounds. Smith on the attack.
Every shot for Hakeem has been a fadeaway or from the perimeter. Go to the hoop, turn and face and drive.
But he couldn't hit from the left side. Doesn't go from the right. Smith! Tremendous!
The Houston Rockets set 10 NBA records, most of them on three-point shooting in the Utah series, the first round.
In deep to Barkley, and he draws the foul.
Houston foul 25, Robert Horry.
Robert Horry with the first foul of the game.
Quickly, right back to Barkley. This was the first play he scored on. Kenny Smith answers with the three on the inside-out offense, which is when they play their best, and now you have one of the game's true masters at the line. Just take a look at his hands when he bounces that ball. This is, along with Michael Jordan, Charles Barkley, I think the most skilled hands in all of basketball. Years and years of development.
And we can't overplay the fact that here's a man playing down where you find guys 6'9", 6'10", 7 feet. He's 6'4 and a half.
If that, Dick, he is not a tall man, but John Wooden used to tell us every day, it's not how big you are, it's how big you play. Barkley is a giant. It's not how high you jump, it's where you are and when you jump. Timing and positioning. Barkley, a master.
Barkley cuts it to 10-6. Olajuwon looking for his first point. Stripped by KJ, and it comes out to bounce to Houston. Smith for three. Rebound Johnson.
The quickness of Akeem's hands, but why would Phoenix leave Akeem on a double team of Horry?
Great try by Kevin Johnson to cut the Houston advantage to 2. First point for KJ.
When KJ gets Kenny Smith to isolate like that, he can get to the hoop at will.
Another miss by Olajuwon, and Person fouled on the trip. Olajuwon helps him up.
Rockets foul at 34.
Akeem's first foul.
Rudy Tomjanovich told us yesterday that he's got to have Kenny Smith put more pressure on KJ and not let him beat him from just 15 feet, because then there's no chance for a defensive rotation.
10-8, Houston early, 7:51 left in this opening quarter.
Akeem, ice cold, surprising.
Missed his first 4. And a three-pointer by the rookie from Auburn, Wesley Pearson. And Phoenix has the lead for the first time.
Person, incredibly quiet game yesterday for a talented player, just 1 for 6 from the field.
Olajuwon around Klein, and then Green picked him up and forced him off his shot, and Green the other way. Chilcutt to Smith. Drexler did a good job at just blocking Green's drive.
That's some of the worst acting job I've ever seen by Drexler.
And the Rockets call time. 7:08 left in the opening period, and the Phoenix Suns with a 1-point lead. Your point well taken, Bill. Nice thing about mothers, when you're 0 for 10, they're the one people that love you even more. 0 for 5 for Akeem. A reversal of roles from yesterday when Barkley had the cold hand. Whistle away from the ball.
It's been that kind of series, though, Dick. Every game back and forth, so very hard to predict. Even though Akeem is missing shots, at least he's handling the ball. Yesterday they went away from Barkley. Akeem, as rhythmic of a shooter as there is in basketball.
Foul was on Person. Blocked by Klein, and Clyde gets it back.
A lot of time.
Olajuwon fall away. He has his first basket, and Houston reclaims the lead.
Kenny Smith trying to put pressure on Kevin Johnson in the backcourt. They'll come right back with Barkley.
Klein for 3. Horry has his 4th rebound. Chilcutt. And on the turnover, Kevin Johnson.
Just not enough respect for the Phoenix defense by Kenny Smith.
Barkley unable to hit the 3 in Person. Blocked by Hakeem. Well, yesterday, one of the many startling stats, Phoenix did not have a block in the entire game. That's never happened in playoff history for Phoenix. Olajuwon.
Barkley is their leading shot blocker. He and AC Green. Hakeem just keeps rimming out. Early starts affecting both teams.
It remains 12-11. Green off the miss by Johnson. AC Green with 4 rebounds, and what a Tiger on the offensive end. Deflected away by Houston. 16 on the clock.
Dick, you mentioned that Phoenix did not have a block yesterday. They were on their heels all day. They had no chance to get quickly to the ball. They were just a step late. Not nearly as ready to play yesterday as today.
Green for 2. Rebound Drexler. Houston likes to run. Hakeem and Ori still at the other end of the court, and Drexler misses badly, and Klein with a rebound.
Terrible shot selection by Drexler. Did not have his legs underneath him.
Kevin Johnson. Well, they played 2 games in 24 hours, and both a little sluggish here at the opening bell.
You look at the shooting, both teams right around 33%.
Another miss by Olajuwon. He's 1 for 8.
I think the teams are tight.
Kevin Johnson, and Phoenix leads 13-12.
Both teams realize that the winner of this game has got a huge edge. For Phoenix, they lose today. They're looking at a very long series.
Drexler. Ori inside to the dream. Smith for 3. Now Smith had a chance to really spot up.
Kenny Smith, he's shooting 47% on three-point shots in his NBA career, playoff career.
No basket foul on Ori, his second.
Rockets down on 20.
All these guys have learned, playing with the great post-up players for both teams, that you need to get these shots to go down, and you spend extra time working on it and thinking about it.
Yeah, it's a 3-point scorecard, and all 3 for Houston from Kenny Smith, who has 9 points to lead all scorers. Chucky Brown in for the Rockets, and Marley reports for Phoenix.
KJ not moving enough on Barkley's post-up.
Houston foul on 22.
Drexler, his first.
Paul Westphal with the first strategic move, get Wesley Person out of there, bring Marley in, who can do a better job defensively, a little bit more experience, bigger, stronger on Drexler.
Chucky Brown now has Barkley, but not close enough. Ties it at 15, and Barkley with a half dozen.
The only player I've ever seen have individual success defensively against Barkley was Kevin McHale.
Drexler, a long 2.
Great offensive players like Barkley, like Drexler. There's nothing a defender can do.
Oh, what a pretty move off the dribble by Kevin Johnson.
Kevin's ability to cross over, he has no idea where he's going out there.
Chilcutt for 3. And the former North Carolina star joins the 3 parade for Houston.
Chilcutt had a 3 yesterday. Sometimes you have to wonder if the line's a little short if Pete Chilcutt's knocking down 3s.
Barkley now with 8. 20-19, Houston with the ball. Olajuwon. 4 points for Hakeem.
Penetration and dish. You get in the lane, that's why the defensive guards for Phoenix really have to keep Kenny Smith under control. He is really their only true penetrator and passer.
Over Chucky Brown, and Brown got a piece of it. First foul on Brown.
Foul called on Rockets 52. Chucky Brown, his first 15th foul. Timeout.
Barkley in the low post, turns and fires quickly. Hakeem on the other end rotates beautifully off of Kenny Smith. Nothing but net. Superstars delivering.
One of the many rocket launchers, 9 points, 3 of them on 3 successful threes. I asked him about his mom. Is she? No. He says, Mom and Dad are back in Brooklyn. They own a gift shop. He said Mother's Day for the late shoppers. They're still open in Brooklyn. So go to the First Light Candle and get your little late Mother's Day gift. Barkley at the line. 8 points. But after a slow start, both teams have heated up. Rockets and the Suns have made their last 4 shots.
We've seen throughout these playoffs, Dick, so many terrific basketball players miss free throws time and time again.
2-point lead for the Rockets as we wind down the end of the first quarter.
Trapping defense, trying to take the ball out of Smith's hands.
Chilcutt for 3. 25-20, Houston. Half their points or more on 3-point. 15 of their points on trades.
The game has changed a little bit since you've been gone. They got the power forward shooting the threes now.
Even Chucky Brown hit one yesterday.
Look at that change of pace, change of direction.
Marley gets Drexler airborne. He can't hit it. Hakeem long pass to Drexler. Smith fouled by Kevin Johnson. Now they're going to call it on Marley.
That play by Clyde Drexler, who forced Marley to take the 2. He's not a good 2-point shooter. He likes the 3, but Drexler sees Smith running the whole time down the court. The presence of mind, the spacing. It was a bad overthrow and outlet pass. Drexler turned into something positive.
And Kenny Smith, one of the better free throw shooters in the league, hit 85% on the season. Misses the front end.
Smith, how athletic is he? He's the first player ever to compete in both the 3-point shootout and the slam dunk contest at the same year.
At 6'3" in his 8th NBA year. Has 10 today, and the Rocket lead is 6. AC Green can't hit the 3. Tisdale gets away with a push pop. Blocked by Olajuwon. Drexler. Oh, my. Barkley stops a 6-0 run. He now has 11.
Barkley going to the hoop as opposed to yesterday when he was double clutching, fading away. Surprised they went away from Klein so early.
Chilcutt another 3. Barkley with another rebound. He has 3. KJ deep to Green. Another solid assist from Kevin Johnson.
Hakeem's stab at the steal in the backcourt really hurt his teammates' chances of making a defensive stand that time. Get back and block shots, big guy.
Chilcutt for 3. Well, they're not bashful, are they? Drexler with a long rebound.
They set an incredible record for 3-point attempts this year.
Just under 3-second difference between the shot and game clocks.
I like what Phoenix is doing, not letting Houston dictate the tempo.
Drexler gets inside. Oh! Brown missed the tip. Tisdale to Marley. Then the attack. Green loses it to Smith. And that's the end of the quarter. Now using what they do best, the Houston Rockets, the 3-point shot. And after a quarter here in Houston, the Rockets by 4. In contrast to yesterday's blistering 3 quarters, Hakeem didn't play in the 4th. He starts out slowly, 2 for 9, and yet his team, the Rockets, enjoy a 4-point lead after 1.
Phoenix has withstood the initial charge. Right now, though, Houston has made a couple changes. They got Sam Cassell in the game. He opened the second quarter with 10 consecutive points. So Phoenix will have to keep him in front.
Marley, Tisdale, Kevin Johnson, Barkley, and AC Green for Phoenix. Marley with a power move, and it'll go against Houston. Mario Elie.
One of the good things about the trade that brought Clyde Drexler here was that when Hakeem goes to the bench for his sometimes rest. He averages 42 minutes per game in the history of his playoff career, is that Drexler can keep things under control. They didn't have that second superstar before the trade.
Waylon Tisdale, and the left-hander not there. Green makes room and knocks it back in.
It is proving to be a very physical battle under the glass today. Paul Westphal wants Kevin Johnson to pull the trigger more on his own three-point shot. He's passing up a lot of opportunities, KJ is.
Stolen by Barkley. And on the behind-the-back dribble, Rudy Tomjanovich says, hey, that can't be a foul, but the trip is called on Chucky Brown, his second.
Top players like Barkley do it at all aspects of the game. Steps back on a poor entry pass that time.
We're going to call it on Ellie with a trip, his second.
Like Barkley just slipped to the ground that time. No surprise as Kevin Johnson finally pulls the trigger and gets one to fall that Houston is doing so well. They are the second best road team in the NBA this year, second only to San Antonio.
And the Spurs with the best record in the NBA. And Houston a good road team as well.
Defending champions are always a good road team.
Clyde Drexler breaks the tie and gives the Rockets a 2-point edge. 8 now for the Glide.
Pick and roll. Phoenix wants to move that down a little bit lower to the baseline because the Rockets are just sliding behind the pick.
Boy, Kevin Johnson battling for possession, block, and goaltend.
Charles Jones with the big block on the rotation was the clear goaltending violation. He'd already drawn iron. Kevin Johnson so heady, just knowing exactly where the shot clock was.
Drexler to Brown. Nice assist by Clyde Drexler. Drexler led the team in assists the year and had less than a 5-point average in assists. So that gives you an idea. You get the ball, you shoot it in Houston. Tisdale. LA tips. Jones.
This is not a team that passes the ball real well, the Houston Rockets. And they often like to put it down like we see right here after there is a pass.
LA way off the mark, gets his own rebound. Good hustle by the former America International star, Mario Ellie.
A wild sequence for Houston, but this second unit for the Rockets has not had a chance to come together. Marley, wild off the mark.
Ellie was daring him to take the three, and Marley did. It was tipped out of bounds by Houston.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please have
Mario Ellie. That's not his shot at all. Pass the ball, get moving, get somebody with their feet squared to the hoop.
Early in the second, Houston by 4.
Some future Hall of Famers on the floor, but our play-by-play man Dick Enberg has beaten them to the punch. He was welcomed into the Basketball Hall of Fame last night in Springfield, given the Kurt Gowdy Media Award, and later this week, Dick will be inducted into the Michigan Sports Hall of Fame, along with Rockets coach Rudy Tomjanovich, who grew up in Hamtramck, Michigan, idolizing the Pistons' Dave DeBusschere. Dick, we're proud of you. Congratulations.
Thank you. You know, it's I had to talk my way in. You played your way in, but it's a big thrill. I'm very proud of it, especially because it's the Gowdy Award, and Kurt's a really good friend.
Dick, you're the 6th announcer to get into the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Dick Enberg in the Basketball Hall of Fame. How cool is that?
Well, come on. It's too soon, but I'll take it.
Well deserved.
34-30, Houston, and Barkley has another 2. And Charles Barkley, as expected, he's going to play big today. 13 points. He leads all scores.
Excuse me, no hesitation. That's when Barkley is at his absolute best, when he knows it's a 2.5-hour game, and he's going to wear him down and outlast him.
Drexler, oh, what a collision. 2 great stars, and Drexler goes down heavily and holds that right shoulder as Barkley and Drexler collide in midair.
Surprising that Marley would play him giving up the middle there, but the rotation, Barkley is good, but too deep. A lot of block. Good solid block, but the follow-through on the body. If Barkley takes one or two more steps out on the court, then Drexler doesn't have that explosive leap.
Dream team members in Barcelona. Unfortunately, both come up okay. Drexler. Clyde in this series with the Suns, of course, an abbreviated first game. Jake O'Donnell gave him the thumb early in the second quarter.
It's been an up-and-down playoff for Clyde, and that's really been one of the reasons why the series have been so close. Granted, Utah had a terrific regular season, winning 60 games, but tough to beat a team with Hakeem Olajuwon, the reigning MVP, the defending champions.
Kevin Johnson. Tisdale with a good move. Wayman Tisdale. Well, to start, Bill, you said that the two stars, Hakeem and Barkley, would play big. You said it'd be KJ and Drexler. Well, they each have 10 points. And Olajuwon may be awakening.
I've been surprised that KJ has passed up as many shots as he has.
He's almost too unselfish, isn't he?
He is so talented. He had 38 points in games 3 and 4 last year in the same series.
There's a case in point. It looked as if he might be able to put it in himself. Throws it outside to Green, who misses.
Why not have KJ shoot and AC Green rebound?
Sam Cassell, who was the second quarter star yesterday, has his first point. Long two.
How very strange in today's game to have to encourage guys to shoot more.
Barkley will try a three. Cassell.
Tough shot and no offensive rebounding. Terrific defense, Barkley, forcing the traveling violation.
Yeah, Drexler saw him out of the corner of his eye and had to pick up the dribble.
On the move, the ball kicked to the middle, and Barkley slashing across there.
Did a little officiating himself just in case it was missed.
This crew won't miss much. They'll let a bit of the rebounding work get physical.
All right, Marley and Kevin Johnson with Tisdale, Green, and Barkley for Phoenix.
Pick and roll again, set very, very low, anticipating that Houston will go behind and force KJ to pull the trigger.
Kevin's an outstanding shooter from outside.
He's got range right about out to the line. Rudy T wants a timeout to re-talk over their defensive strategy.
Now Kevin Johnson, 6 for 9 shooting, has 12 points. The Rockets lead by 4, 7 to play in the first half. Into the eyes of Kevin Johnson, who knows his role and he likes calling the shots.
You know what, we got so many weapons that if we all are on the same page defensively, then on the offensive end, I kind of liken my position to maybe a quarterback. I mean, there's so many guys and so many options that I just got to pretty much pick and choose. And if the opportunity is there for me, maybe in a wishbone situation to run it or penetrate, then I take advantage of it.
Wishbone quarterback.
Shooting always the name of the game in basketball. Yesterday, the Suns shot 39% for the game. They were the leading field goal percentage shooting team in the playoffs at over 56% coming in to the Houston weekend games. They're at 45% today.
Sam Cassell tied up, and Johnson blocks it out of bounds. Hannah?
Well, in that last time out, the Rockets were talking among themselves about how to better defend the pick and roll. Meanwhile, in the Phoenix huddle, Joe Klein urging his teammates, rebound, and the coaching staff saying, keep the tempo up, way up, keep running. This is the way we like it. Dick?
All right, Hannah, 40-36 the Rockets, and Sam Cassell hits the long two.
On Hannah's point, and with Klein talking about the rebound in the Phoenix locker room before the game today as KJ goes to work once again.
Oh, what a pass, and it surprised Tisdale, and Smith comes up with a loose ball. Olajuwon. Bumped by Tisdale, a foul on Wayman. Go back to your point, locker room.
On the blackboard, Paul Westphal had written rebounds and no layups. Westphal didn't say a whole lot. It was a quiet night of dinner. Coaches watch film, no film session for the players. They had seen enough of the real thing.
I bet Barkley didn't look at it. Johnson all the way, denied by Olajuwon and Barkley with a follow. It's 42-38 Houston, and Barkley with 15 to lead all scores.
That's what frustrates Hakeem Olajuwon and any shot blocker. Hakeem, the second best shot blocker ever in playoff history behind Mark Eaton. But
Olajuwon. He has 8.
When Hakeem gets mad, it's best to come right back and give him the ball, let him get to the hoop. I'm surprised Hakeem hasn't shot very many free throws today, if any.
None. Barkley. Olajuwon flying at Barkley and changed the direction of his release. Cassell at the other end. Marley pulls it down. To Barkley.
Fans wanted to travel.
Danny Ainge into the game, and he scores. And Horry falls heavily as he tried for the block. Danny Ainge, the veteran. Only Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has played in more NBA playoff contests than that man, Danny Ainge.
And this series finally has its first game. Hakeem in the low box. Tisdale futilely around the side. Nothing he can do there. And then KJ, the presence of mind. Barkley up the court. The Phoenix team feeds off each other so well. They anticipate. They pass the ball so beautifully.
Olajuwon at his spot. 46-40. The 40 points significant for Phoenix. That was their total in the first half yesterday. They got 5 minutes to better it today.
And this is the first game that has been competitive for both teams at the same time.
Inside, deflected by Drexler, and then out of bounds off Horry. Ball wants a 20.
20 seconds.
Olajuwon, such a rhythmic shooter. Like Jabbar, like an Elvin Hayes, they got to get that step in one way to come back the other.
Well, for those of you who have been away and haven't been following this series that closely, the Suns dominated from the opening bell in Phoenix. 22-point win. Drexler ejected in the second quarter, and then Houston seemed really uninterested in the second game as the Suns again pounded them heavily. Then the medicine went to a different recipient here in Houston yesterday as the Rockets established an all-time record. That was their biggest margin of victory in their playoff history, 33 points. And Barkley goes 0 for 10 today, 6 better than that out of 10. 46-40, Kevin Johnson over Olajuwon. Gets the roll.
Kevin, who had been passing on almost every penetration before, now has got the defense frozen. Hakeem has got his hands down, anticipating that pass. Burns him with the jumper.
Olajuwon around Klein, and then Klein had the foul. First on Joe Klein, and Olajuwon to the line. The all-time Houston scorer passed Calvin Murphy earlier in the regular season, and led on the season with a 28-point average.
How deep was that 1984 draft, though, where Hakeem was the #1 draft choice, Barkley at 5.
Bowie second. Who was third in that?
A guy by the name of Michael Jordan.
Whatever happened to
Sam
him?
Perkins, #4. Otis Thorpe in that group.
Olajuwon settles for 1 out of 2, and it's a 5-point game.
And how about John Stockton, way down at the bottom of the list in the first round?
That was a dream draft. Klein. That's his spot, but Horry with a rebound. 7 rebounds for Robert Horry.
Now dump it right back in at this point. He gives up the position.
Well, short, and Ainge with only Smith to beat, and Barkley gets an easy 2 as the Suns out-hustle the Rockets on that exchange.
In transition, Phoenix just so badly outplayed in every aspect of the game yesterday. Drexler on the reverse.
And draws another foul as Klein saved an easy 2.
Suns foul 45, Joe Klein.
Danny Ainge will find Barkley. Akeem is there, thinks about making the Michael Cooper block when he gets right in the steps of the guy in front of him, blocks from behind, but foul trouble for the superstars in this game. You can't risk anything at this point in the game.
Second foul on Klein, and Clyde Drexler back home in Houston. Family owns a wonderful barbecue business. He said he learned early from his mother that it was okay to work hard. At 12 years old, he had a job and responsibility. And he's one of the quality guys in this league.
Clyde living in a hotel since the trade here. He only played 35 regular season games. Really doesn't have his personal situation squared away, but being on the road that long is,
Horry goes down heavily at the other end of the court and may have taken a pork chop from Barkley. He might have gotten a loose elbow. We'll see. It's against the smiling Barkley.
Well, they're just going to call the offensive foul.
Oh, that wasn't.
That's an acting job there.
Yeah, that's a pretty good job of acting. Although Barkley shouldn't be. Little forearm shiver. That's just I love you.
That's just walking into your position. If they called that, I don't know if Jabbar would have ever scored. He's going into the Hall of Fame with me on Monday night, Vic.
That's a great class going Monday night in Springfield. Olajuwon, who will be there someday, that's for certain. He has 13.
Phoenix has to be very careful to stay close right now.
Boy, Kevin Johnson, what a game. He has 16 on 8 for 12 shooting. The lead is 5 for the Rockets. Under 3 to go in this opening half. Olajuwon over Marley.
He's got the rhythm going now. He feels that anything he throws up will go in. He's been to the line a few times.
Barkley blocked by Horry. Sensational block. They're on their feet as Smith comes to the other end. And the foul is Olajuwon. Draws the foul from Klein. I believe could be Marley.
Robert Horry, one of the great shot blockers in college basketball. Nothing but ball. Rejects Barkley. Houston in control.
You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Once said, it's such a tremendous player that he dreamed too low. He said he fulfilled his dreams too quickly, and it's frustrated him all his life. He's such a great player. Never thought he'd be that great, and he got there so quickly. Now what do I do? And it's kind of an interesting lesson for all of us to reach a little farther. And what West has done is reach out as one of the great general managers. He really knows how to put together a team.
He thinks basketball. He lives it. And he's put the time and work in as Hakeem Olajuwon has done. You're talking about a guy who, when he first started playing in his late teens, because he was so tall, that all of a sudden he was a raw talent who has, through all these years, developed into an incredibly skilled player.
Horry gives Olajuwon another chance.
You can't believe he can't find the range from the line today. 1 for 4.
Olajuwon, with Klein on him, and Cassell has the opening. 55-46, Cassell with 6. He exploded as a rookie in the playoffs last year, remember?
The good thing for Houston is that so many players are playing well. Smith has got his three-point range. Hakeem is blocking. Horry is blocking.
And as you predicted, Bill Walton, Charles Barkley, he was ready today.
It is so embarrassing when you play like that on TV, when everybody's watching. These days, every game's on TV. The inability of the Phoenix Suns to stop the big guys from scoring, the Olajuwon, the David Robinson, is that going to come back to haunt him?
Drexler with Klein to beat. No basket, foul on Klein. It'll be his third.
Barkley flashing to the ball, and then just overpowers the defense late to rotate. Nothing Horry can do. Akeem right at Joe Klein and whoever else happens to be there. Wesley Person that time. Drexler's offense, though. Everybody talks about you have defense and rebounding to win in the playoffs. It comes down to these teams. You've got to be able to put points on the board, and that's what this guy does as well as anybody. That situation, just picked up the ball in a foot race. He knew he was either going to score or get fouled.
And Drexler now building the biggest advantage of the game. And Houston now enjoys an 11-point lead.
Talked about Phoenix's need to hold on. A couple three-pointers here will serve them just fine.
Marley in for Phoenix, Chucky Brown for Houston as we approach the 1-minute mark. They double-team Barkley. Swing it to Kevin Johnson. And he hits the three. So Kevin Johnson, a sizzling shooting half. 19 for him.
Kevin is at his best with the dribble. He doesn't shoot that many threes because when he's trying to get his feet set off the dribble, he usually steps on the line.
Olajuwon with AC Green. Look at you. He's unbelievable. That's a 7-foot man. You have to remind yourself of how big he is. He plays like a 6'3", 6'4" man.
What balance. What ability to change his mind, change the pace, change the direction.
And illegal defense against Sam Cassell. And you know, you pointed out yesterday, he runs the floor so well.
He's just wearing out, punishing AC Green in the torture chamber down there. There's just not, AC Green just not enough size. And one thing is, Harley for three. Quick on the shot clock.
Cassell with a rebound. Marley 0 for 3 from outside. About 8 seconds in the shot and game clocks.
It's like they're unaware of the shot clock.
Cassell and Kevin Johnson, and Cassell draws the foul. Well, they go to the other end. I'm Hakeem Olajuwon. Chatted with him a long time ago, and I said, you know, what's your first memories when you came over from Africa of basketball? He says, the first game I saw was UCLA and that big redheaded guy. He said, and that jump hook. I said, I got to get that shot, that jump hook.
Well, of all the players I ever played against, I've never got hit by a harder elbow than Hakeem Olajuwon.
Kevin Johnson setting up Wesley Pearson for 3. And just as you commented, a couple of quick trays for Phoenix in the closing minute. A long attempt by Cassell. Oh, my. Can you top this? The Rockets 64, the Suns 54. Cassell from midcourt. That is a rocket launch. There's your look downtown. The Houston Rockets battling to even this series at 2-all. Lead by 10 at the break. Here are two teams they played yesterday at noon, Houston time. 24 hours later, another game. Does that favor either side?
I think it favors the team that loses the game because the team that wins, it's so hard for them to come back down before they get back up. While the other team, Phoenix, yesterday, they were down from the start. They had no place to go but up.
Well, a change by Paul Westphal. He puts Danny Shays in. Didn't play the entire first half. Shays starts the second half. Shays, Kevin Johnson, Barkley, Marley, and Green. A new look to start for Paul Westphal's son. It's Olajuwon Smith, Chilcutt, Drexler, and Horry, the same 5 that opened the game for Houston.
Barkley was telling us just yesterday how the players want Paul Westphal to quit changing the lineup so much and go with a set group of guys. Paul Westphal's response was, hey, quit getting injured, and I'll stay with the guys who were playing well.
Yeah, they did lose well over 100 games due to injury, and of course a key loss in February. Danny Manning was their second leading scorer at the time. Barkley with 20, goes for 21.
The suppleness of his hands, the power of his body, so explosive, so raw and rugged. As soft as a needle.
Olajuwon, Shays trying to halt his hot hand. And Shays with a foul. Well, Olajuwon started cold, 2 for 9. But boy, he was really heating up before the break.
Finished 9 for 18, Olajuwon in the first half. And Shays, who doesn't have the beef that Joe Klein does, but certainly willing to put what he has. Excellent post feed by Ori. That's a real strength of his.
You get it in that load, Olajuwon, you're going to have high percentage success.
That's like the sky hook. What are you gonna do with Jabbar, with Jordan, with Akeem? You know, wait till they start missing? That's just not gonna happen.
Barkley didn't get the wraparound. Shays and Barkley miss on the tip. They come out 3-on-2 with Drexler in the middle. Ori to Drexler. The biggest lead of the game for the Rockets, a dozen.
Phoenix is so determined to get to the offensive glass. They're not covering the backcourt.
Oh, Kevin Johnson, does he have, when they say lightning quick first step, I mean, you can't even hear the thunder.
When a guy like Kevin Johnson is coming at you, and Dr. J was the same way, they have no idea what they're doing when they come at you. They just keep throwing moves at you one after the other. Finally, one of them works, and they just cross over and go the other way.
Great combination fighter. They're throwing punches and combinations that are made up on the ad-lib.
Creativity. The beauty of basketball.
Kevin Johnson, 10 for 14 shooting, misses the chance for the three-point play on the foul shot.
Isolation Drexler. Too much standing for Houston.
Chilcott inside to Drexler. Well done. Outside, inside.
Chilcott starting to handle that high post swing position the way Horace Grant now does so well for Orlando.
Kenny Smith, his hands full, trying to stop Johnson, and his hands catch KJ. Third foul on Smith.
Interior passing by Houston, such a key because Phoenix has to play a scramble defense. They can't match up as Kevin Johnson continues to punish.
Wow, that's 4 fouls on Kenny Smith in less than 2 minutes of this second half. And a delay of game warning against the Rockets as Sam Cassell with his last-second heroics to end the half. That bomb from midcourt replaces Kenny Smith.
How unprepared was Kenny Smith on the inbounds play? The NBA playoff where the winners move on and the losers, they go home early. Kenny Smith just waiting until the ball gets put in play before he takes his defensive posture.
23 now for Kevin Johnson. 10-point lead Houston. 2 minutes gone, second half.
Team on the weak side.
Cassell, who made many of his points off the dribble yesterday, and he sets up Olajuwon, a little out of Hakeem's range. And Barkley out of the pack, and Ori got his hand on it. There's those great hands of Barkley, just sucked it right back into his control.
And you can't reach in on Barkley's dribble out because you just bounce off his body.
Marley rejected by Olajuwon. Chilcott. But it started with Olajuwon's defensive play at the other end,
which should have been a foul. Drexler, though, gets in the air, and his ball fakes to set up the passing lane. Beautiful.
And the hold on Cassell as Kevin Johnson just eating up the defensive attempts of the Houston guards.
With Marley not playing well, getting this ball rejected, but Drexler will get in the air and watch the pump fake of the ball to the top man coming down. That frees up Chilcott. I would run Marley's man at KJ, the way Seattle used to do all the time in their mastery of the Phoenix Suns in Seattle's heyday. That gets the ball in Marley's hands. He's not playing that well, and KJ is at his worst when he doesn't have the ball.
Well, he's had the ball enough today, and good things have happened on almost every occasion as he now sights in for his 25th point.
Imagine where he would be if he had that offensive gunner mentality.
for Shays. 23 for Hakeem. The lead is 13.
Hakeem will always shake one way and come back the other. The Phoenix Suns just too reluctant to anticipate what he's going to do.
And Dan Shays in the book.
Both Shays and Klein are quality outside shooters, but the Suns will, or the Rockets will give that up every time.
Shilkat way off the mark. Good save by Horry. And Horry makes another good hustle play. Drexler wants 3. Shays with a rebound. Shays, who celebrated his 36th birthday earlier this week, deflected and stolen. Cassell. KJ to beat. Drexler. And a foul on Shays. His second. There's that Sam Cassell. He just blossomed. The last was a game 3 against the Knicks. Remember, he made the final points of that one.
He's one of those guys that when you watch him play, you just know that this is a guy who learned how to play ball on the playground. This is not a guy who's been taught by a coach, even though he had a terrific high school and college coach at Florida State.
Coach Wade in high school,
right?
Pat Kennedy
at Florida State. But this is a guy who, like Kevin Johnson, has that shake and bake ability to change a pace, change a direction, the sense of the flow, the sense of controlling the pace of the game, and Stars continuing to miss free throws.
That's the first miss by Drexler, who's now 7 for 8. Drexler going for the steal. Shays. Horry. Horry's done a good job on the boards. 13 for him.
He does have 2 fouls. If he picks up a foul, Horry.
Shays over the top, picks up the foul, and very close to a technical. Dick Bavetta took a long look, but
this is a patient crew of referees, Dick. And guys like Shays and Drexler, they're not going to be in there. Now,
looks like a good play to me.
Legitimate complaint there about the foul called.
7.5 left in the third quarter. Houston with a 12-point lead and the ball. Olajuwon loves that turnaround on the left side, but misfires here. Shays hands off to KJ.
Harley ineffective on offense. They may need to bring Danny Ainge in.
Drexler knocks it away. 12 on the clock.
Drexler, lots of deflections defensively.
Cassell runs on the double team. Barkley well short and didn't beat the clock anyway. Clock violation.
Hakeem will step out and give a high bump.
Cassell, Drexler with a 3, and suddenly these fans feel they're going to go to Phoenix even. Foul at the other end, but the Rockets have built a 15-point lead. And we have a timeout. You're watching the NBA on NBC. The Summit in Houston, and during the timeout, arguing his point, a couple of calls going to the home team, and Westphal realizing a 15-point game in the third period, that he's got a battle now or it's going to get away from him. Hannah?
What Paul Westphal's upset about is that his players were walking off the court. They were ready for the mandatory timeout. The officials did not stop the clock, Dick.
Westphal and his attorney coach has to exert himself into the flow, and this is it.
Boy, if the players are so tuned into the mandatory timeouts, they're thinking too much. They've got to be out there thinking about stopping Hakeem and stopping Drexler out there. You never stop playing until the whistle blows. And when the crowd is as wild as this Houston crowd is, you keep playing even after the whistle blows. There might be somebody in the stands blowing one.
AC Green at the line. Cuts the lead to 14. His 7th point. Wesley Person is in for Phoenix for Marley.
AC Green, who has developed like so many players, a beautiful rhythmic shot, become one of the league's best free throw shooting big men.
Not a coach in the NBA who wouldn't want to have AC Green. He just does so many good things and doesn't ask for anything, just works hard.
A perfect complementary player.
What a pass. Horry to Akeem says, I like those. I'll take all those you'll give me.
Robert Horry, who played center in college at Alabama. There's a lot of other really talented players. He knows how to feed the post there. Because he never got the ball when he was playing center.
Good defense by the Rockets. Johnson 3 from outside. And Kevin Johnson is 11 for 15. 27 to lead all scorers.
And Sam Cassell is getting frustrated defensively. You can't do that. Kevin Johnson is an all-star player, a Dream Team 2 player.
Charles Barkley on the double team, reaching in, gets the foul, his 3rd.
Barkley has not done much here in the 3rd. They started the 3rd down 10. They're now down 12 with the chance to fall even further behind.
I still am puzzled. When you first look at Olajuwon and his playoff card, and of course, as he is usually in the top 10 in every category, he is the complete player, a renaissance man. Olajuwon. That from game 2 to 3, how can home court be that big? 57-point swing. How can one game to the next 57-point difference from Phoenix to Houston games 2 to 3?
Confidence, aggressiveness,
officiating.
Officiating has something to do with it. I don't think nearly as much as the players like to complain about. The crowd and a sense of desperation. A sense that, hey, this is over if we don't win this game. These are the defending champions.
Johnson dishing off to Green, and a tough shot by Green over Olajuwon for his 10th point, and the lead down to 11.
Kevin Johnson making it all happen. How long was he in the air as he floated across that lane, and finally, just before he landed, able to find AC?
Deflected by Barkley. He made the play. And Person is fouled at the other end. Cassell or Chilka.
You mentioned pride. It goes both ways. Phoenix embarrassed yesterday. They're right back at it today.
Foul is on Chilka. His first.
Kevin Johnson just walking around out here, wandering like a great performer, almost like a boxer, knowing that he's in the zone right now. Doesn't want to talk to anybody. Doesn't want anybody to get near him.
He's having a season-high game, or at least headed toward that, just a couple of points away from his best of this year, which was 31.
But you can look in a guy like Kevin Johnson's eyes and realize that if you're his teammate, don't mess with him. Just get out of his way, play off of what he's doing.
That 15-point lead down to 9, and Olajuwon quickly negates. He has 26.
Olajuwon scored the first 11 points of the 3rd quarter yesterday. Not as spectacular today, but certainly efficient enough, holding an 11-point lead.
Person, and he was fouled on the shot.
Rockets foul 22.
Drexler with a foul.
Akeem will go right away. When great post-up players like Akeem and Barkley, when they do this, as opposed to waiting for the double team, so much more effective. Houston's defense, though, they're fouling too much. They're bailing out the Phoenix Suns at this point.
Did you ever have that quick step inside like that?
No,
I'm just trying to remember.
Never did that. I used to try to rebound a lot and let the other guys shoot the ball.
Well, your famous coach John Wooden said no one he ever saw did it better. Get that rebound and outlet like the big redhead.
That was my favorite part of the game, was starting the fast break, whether it be from a rebound or a block or a deflection.
The lead is 10. Houston with the ball. 4.5 to go in the 3rd.
Look at the post feed once again by Ori.
Olajuwon over Klein. Oh, Klein knocks it away from his teammate. Olajuwon collects.
And Akeem, the first to acknowledge the contributions of Robert Ori, keeping the ball alive, getting Akeem the ball.
Ori with 15 rebounds, plus trying to stop Barkley. Person for 3. Person gets it back for 2. Wesley Person with 11.
Clyde just ran right by him that time. You've got to keep him in front.
Chilton. His 3 not there, and AC Green pulls down his 6th rebound.
I'm not sure if that's what the Rockets want to do, is have Pete Chilcutt shoot a lot of threes
in a hurry.
Swing that ball a lot of time on the shot clock.
Barkley, Olajuwon, and it comes out to Klein.
Spread the floor here. Let KJ do something. They got guys like Person and Barkley.
Well, Person feels it. Hits 2 in a row. Now has 13. And the Suns pull within 8.
The problem is, though, you got a hot hand with KJ. Don't let that get cold.
Good point. Cassell. Green. He can't get enough. Line saves.
And Kevin Johnson says, catch the darn ball.
Flying from long range. A long 2. And the Houston lead is whittled to 6.
And look at Barkley. Barkley's out there urging everyone on right now. He went to all 4 of his teammates and said, right now, this is our time.
You can just feel Houston in a bit of a lull. This crowd trying to help out. Olajuwon, the double team from Johnson. Can't hit. Green, another rebound. And a foul. Olajuwon in the backcourt. His 2nd. And a timeout with 2:26 left in the 3rd. Just when the Suns saw it setting, they have rallied in Houston. Feature films. And coming up next, Western Conference, the Admiral David Robinson, the San Antonio Spurs into the Forum to face Nick Van Exel, the young rebuilding Lakers, Dull Harris, the NBA Coach of the Year. The Spurs leading that series 2-1. And of course, Dennis Rodman always part of that scenario. And then in the 3rd game of our triple header, well, the picture says it all. Shaq and Michael, Magic and the Bulls. So stay with us on NBC.
Orlando will find out how hard it is to close out a top player. AC Green now 39 for 40 of his free throws in this year's playoffs.
And that 15-point lead is down to 4. Hannah?
Rudy Tomjanovich's biggest concern at halftime is that his team would lose some intensity, and he feels that they've done that. He said they don't have their hands up, they're not ready for rebounds. Wants them to get that fire back, Dick.
Ellie with a 3-pointer, unable to connect. So in 4 minutes' time, Phoenix cut the lead of 15 down to 4 here late in the 3rd period.
And they've done it without Barkley, who in the 2nd half is 0 for 3 for only 2 points.
No basket, a foul before the shot. Chucky Brown 2nd.
Rockets fouling 52. Chucky Brown, that's his 2nd personal.
And in Houston, the fact that they still do lead, a team that doesn't protect the ball always that well. Phoenix does. They were best in the league. And Houston has committed only 4 turnovers today.
Barkley is doing right now what only great players can do. He is getting in people's faces on his own team. He is in Wesley Person's face, he is in AC Green's face, and Joe Klein's face, saying, hey, right now, don't let us down. Don't let it get away. Westphal has to let Barkley do that. Now Westphal can come in and perk the guys back up. An ideal coaching situation.
85-82. Long pass to Drexler, stolen by Green, and then no call as Castell stepped in front of Green.
A flop attempt is ignored by the officials.
Johnson is still hot, and the lead is down to 1. What a run by the Phoenix Suns in the final 6 minutes of this 3rd quarter. 11-0. But it's even better than that. Olajuwon stolen by Barkley. Took his eye off the ball.
He thought about a three there, but then thought better of it.
Here's the guy that's been scoring. Get it to KJ must be the thought of Phoenix fans. Barkley for three.
Way off the mark.
1:12 left in this third period.
Houston's got to start getting Drexler and Olajuwon more involved, particularly Drexler.
Foul on Kevin Johnson. The Rockets have scored only 5 points in the last 5 minutes plus, and the Suns have outscored them 19-5.
Hannah mentioned that the Westfall strategy is to wear them down. They are playing shorthanded, only 9 active players. Remember,
Vernon Maxwell is
off
on a release.
and Herrera's got the shoulder problem, which will require surgery soon, the way Dale Davis's will.
Well, the Suns have their full complement, although Danny Manning lost for the year back in February. So Cassell misses the free throw. Kenny Smith picked up 4 fouls in the first 2 minutes of the second half, so he's been on the pine.
We talked about offense, the need for offense. Houston just has not had any. Clyde Drexler needs to create, explode, and get in the open court.
Johnson for the tie at 86. What a game. 31 to match his high for the year. And he's got a quarter to go. Cassell denied at the other end.
Such poor defense on the pick and roll. They've been going behind it, but nobody steps over and turns Kevin Johnson back the other way. No one defends the pick and roll better than Pat Riley's New York Knicks. Not enough teams have a clear and definitive strategy as to what they're going to do in that situation. I say send them back to the baseline.
Joe Klein committed his 4th foul, and Cassell gives Houston the 1-point lead. Danny Ainge and Dan Marley, 2 long bomb threats in the final 49 seconds enter for Phoenix. The Suns have led only twice in the game, each time by a single point. And Houston leading all the way, once by as much as 15 in this quarter. Now by only 2.
Spread the floor. Short lineup for both squads. Play 2 for 1. Go right now.
Person. A 3-pointer to give Phoenix the lead. What a 6-minute run by the Phoenix Suns. Brown knocked away by Kevin Johnson. Cassell to beat, and he knocks it away. Terrific defensive play by Cassell. KJ, I think, angry at himself and angry at the officials. He lost a little control of the dribble when he had the clear breakaway, and that allowed Cassell to come in and knock it all away.
Well, you're certainly never going to acknowledge that somebody can catch you from behind, but that was a perfect defensive play. You're always going to blame the refs.
Yeah, and then down deep, he knew that he kept the clean dribble. He had the easy 2. Well, the shot clock off. Final seconds, third quarter.
No double team. Go now.
Why not Johnson? Oh, my. Had his foot on the line, only a 2. And at the end of 3, the Suns down by 15, move ahead by 3. Kevin Johnson, a big star over his head in 3 quarters. KJ with 33 points. Back to Houston after these messages from your local station. And Kevin Johnson's 5 for 5 shooting and 31 points leading the way. You usually see him on the other side of the camera. Danny Baldwin, Detective Bo Felton on NBC's Homicide.
How are you guys?
All right.
Go Suns!
Wait a minute, you're in the wrong building to be yelling that.
Hey, I want to know, if I push this button, does that mean Olajuwon's head blows off, or what happens?
I'll let you handle that one, Big Red.
Well, they'd like to do that if you're a Phoenix Sun fan. Hakeem, 11 points in the third. Clyde with 8. Houston, though, the rest of the Rockets only scored a total of 5 points.
And that spirit, the life of the Rockets was missing certainly in the third period. And Ellie with a forced shot. And here comes Kevin Johnson.
Terrible shot, but that's been Ellie's trademark in this game today.
Chucky Brown gets in the mouth as Sam Cassell picks up his third. And for Phoenix fans, they know well how tough the Suns have been when they lead going into the fourth quarter, winning all but 2 of 48 times that they've had the lead. Best in the NBA. Close out the deal.
Houston won the season series between these two teams 3-1, with both teams winning on the road.
Houston fortunate that Marley is having a cold hand. 0 for 5. Drexler way short.
Wild offense for Houston.
Johnson. Nothing but net. Kevin Johnson, 35 points. Biggest lead for the Suns.
Houston has outscored Phoenix. Excuse me, the other way around. Phoenix has outscored Houston 39-26 now in the second half. Phoenix, of course, the highest scoring team in the NBA playoffs, at 119 a game.
Ellie cuts it to 3. Well, those long threes are coming up short. Sign of some fatigue and a foul. 28-10, Paul Westfall's team outscoring the Rockets here at the Summit.
Westfall, who's a 5-time All-Star as a player himself, knows full well what it means to have the hot hand. He'll just let KJ run the show now.
So does his counterpart, Rudy Tomjanovich, also a 5-time All-Star. Both have their numbers retired by these teams. Westfall wore 44 and Tomjanovich 45. Person 3. Oh, my, that would have really given the Suns a lift, and here come the Rockets.
Now is Akeem Olajuwon's time. He's got to bring his team back.
I'm going to take you to Las Vegas with me.
He's more of a quiet leader than Barkley is. Both of them so effective.
And Kevin Johnson playing like he invented the game. 37 for him.
We talked at the opening how this game would probably be decided between Drexler and KJ. It's been KJ so far.
Oh. Finger tip roll there by Olajuwon with no angle left. 34 for number 34, Olajuwon. Suns by 1. Shoot it, Kevin. You can't miss. Barkley. Cassell.
Barkley is not making them pay for not double teaming.
Cassell. Olajuwon. How did he get that? And he's fouled. I believe Kevin Johnson got him his second foul. Well, unlike the reputation of these two teams, lopsided games, we've got a burner in Houston today.
The Lakers take on Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Today's Miller Genuine Draft, Genuine Playoff Moment takes us back exactly 14 years ago. Game 6, 81 NBA Finals. The Celtics and the Rockets. Robert Reed led Houston with 27. But Larry Bird matched that total, and the Celtics went on to win their 14th NBA championship. In recognition of this moment, Miller Genuine Draft donates $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. 81, a big year for Houston, but the Celtics had Bird and won the trophy.
That was a pretty good-looking jump shot by Larry Bird. Rockets, though, they've been in the finals 3 times since 81. Very few teams have had that kind of success. The Lakers, of course, lead the way since 81 with 8 final appearances.
You have to have played in them, Bill, I guess, to really appreciate what a different season it is.
And that's what's so special about this Phoenix team, is because they've been there, but they haven't got the ring like the Rockets do. And that's all Charles and KJ, Marley. Now you see Green and Ainge, they've got some ring. They certainly wouldn't turn down an extra one.
Olajuwon for the lead. 96. 95. 9 minutes plus to go. Kevin Johnson, 38 is his career playoff high. He has 37. And finally a miss. Rebound, Chucky Brown.
Terrific defense here by Cassell. You wonder if Rudy's going to go with Cassell or Kenny Smith down the stretch for the point guard play.
Ooh, near steal by Barkley. Brown takes it in and is fouled by Wayman Tisdale. His third.
Suns foul 23, Wayman Tisdale.
In this situation, we talk all about the superstars, Dick. You asked earlier about what the home court advantage means. The home court advantage means guys like Chucky Brown and Mario Elie come up really big time. They've got to do a better job. These free throws are critical. Ellie's got to play well, and Rudy Tomjanovich has got to come back with Drexler very soon.
Brown, who is probably the least reliable free throw shooter for the Rockets, just 61% on the year, gets the first one. Looking for his fourth point of the game.
Another one of the CBA guys that have come up to rebuild this team.
Yeah, he played for the CBA champions, the Yakima Sun Kings, this year.
Did you do those games too, Dick?
What do you think I've been hiding? 3-point Rocket lead. They run at Barkley. Marley inside. Green, well done. AC Green cuts the lead to 1, 14 for him.
Hakeem Olajuwon, the multiple jumps on defense, just wear him out.
Olajuwon answers for Houston at the other end. 100-97, 38 leading all scorers. Hakeem. Tisdale over Olajuwon. Horry battling Barkley and wins the rebound. 15 boards for Horry.
Pounded inside again.
And a whistle before the shot.
Suns foul at 23, Wayman
Tisdale's fourth.
Marley, not that good inside the arc, but can find AC Graham, and Hakeem is just a fraction of a second short. But he knows what he can't get done on defense. He'll just get right back at the offensive end.
36 yesterday, 38 today. Horry for three. Brown, no one boxed him out. Kevin Johnson took it away from him and gets the timeout. Well, that's not always good, wasting a timeout to save a tied-up situation. And Pat Riley commenting on that some of his next two eager to call the time. Now they're going to take a full time. Wound up with no timeouts at the end of the game. Really hurt New York against Indiana. Timeout, 3 points. Houston advantage. Tenacity to rip the ball. And then look at Hakeem sliding in there, 7-footer like a little point guard.
Or the hockey goalie that he used to be, soccer goalie that he used to be. That's why you wear a knee badge when you're Hakeem Olajuwon. The numbers on the day, superstars going at it. Barkley, though, surprising, has not scored from the field in the second half.
It's only 3 points on free throws and 22 for the game. And meanwhile, Johnson, with all those points plus 19 assists to tie a career playoff high. KJ with the ball, underappreciated outside of Phoenix.
And still no Clyde Drexler.
Marley for three, and he still comes up empty. That has been crucial. Marley 0 for 6, most of them from three-point range.
Pounded inside again through Horry.
They run Marley at him, so Elie is open. Mario Elie, 7 for him, and it's a Houston lead by 6. So Marley misses the three, Elie makes the three, the big swing.
Now Marley is tentative.
Barkley knocked away by Horry. And the jump ball. Barkley said, if I just kind of throw my body in here, I'm going to get something. And the fans thought it was a foul. He'll get the jump ball.
Everybody thought it was a foul. Looked like the referees underneath was going to call a foul here on Barkley. Hey, when there's a ton of guys in the floor, just call a jump ball quickly, not let them get hurt.
Well, and I think the officials thought that they may have called a foul earlier, or missed a foul earlier, and going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
On the poke away from behind.
Yeah. 6:39 left in this fourth quarter. Tisdale out. Joe Klein back in for Phoenix. The Suns, who had taken the lead by 5, now see the Rockets leading by 6.
Cassell is getting in Barkley's face.
And Barkley predictably wins the tap. Hakeem out to knock it away from KJ. Against Horry, it's Barkley. Scores, and he is fouled. That is a typical Barkley power move for his first field goal of the second half.
Barkley will work so hard for that deep position. He'll look for to drop that inside foot for the inside pivot, and he comes out. Ouch. I don't know if that's going to hurt Barkley, but KJ's been injured celebrating with Barkley in games past.
Drexler with a foul, his 4th. Horry with a foul. Marley gives the Suns a chance for not a three-point play, but something bigger, and back into Barkley.
How can you expect to win if you can't get defensive rebounds off missed free throws?
Joe Klein. Rebound to South.
We need to get Drexler involved.
Olajuwon way off, and Horry mad at himself as that one goes off his leg out of bounds. 103-99. The Rockets leading the Suns.
Barkley, who's the number 3 active field goal percentage shooter, career low 48% this year.
Klein hit by Olajuwon. 3-on-2. Cassell splits the defense and is fouled. Klein, his 5th foul.
Hakeem Olajuwon will tip this ball, and Cassell will come up with it. But if Hakeem will widen out here and slow down and give Cassell the first opportunity, that'll create the spacing. Hakeem is thinking points, he's thinking victory. I'm going to get to the hoop first.
Cassell, who averaged 9.5 on the season and is the best Rockets free throw shooter at 84%. Yeah, check that. Kenny Smith was a bit better at 85. And gets 1 out of 2, has 13 points today. So the Suns with the ball down by 5.
Kenny Smith has not smelled any action at all since he picked up those 4 careless fouls.
Barkley, Horry, one hand in the back. Shays, and he draws the foul from Olajuwon. On the fake, Hakeem with his 3rd.
Danny Shea, someone very dear to your heart, I know, Dick, an academic All-American as a college student at Syracuse, 4.4 GPA in organic chemistry.
And, of course, famous father, the Hall of Famer, Dolph Shays. Barkley almost lost the handle. 12 on the clock.
Everybody's staying at home.
Kevin Johnson from Barkley. Rejected by Olajuwon and saved by Ellie. Good hustle play. Less than 5 to go. 5 blocks for Olajuwon, knocked away by Shays.
Hakeem, who has learned so much in his NBA career, keeps this ball in play, just touches it softly, and Ellie taps it. The communication between the guards looked like AC Green might have been pushing Ellie out of bounds.
Clyde Drexler will trigger the inbounds pass as Leslie Person is in. And Sam Cassell gets the call from Rudy Tomjanovich. Timeout. 4:49 left in the 4th. Rockets by 5. working on the elbow of Kevin Johnson, right elbow. I wondered how he could have 19 assists, Bill Walton, with all the shooting. And the official score now is corrected. He said it's not 19, it's 9. It's a computer error. You can always lean on the computers now.
Longtime trainer Joe Frosky over there taking excellent care of Kevin. He probably just sore from shooting so much.
Houston with a 5-point lead in the ball. Ellie takes it strong. Mario Ellie. 7-point lead.
And the normally reserved Paul Westphal all the way up to the half-court line in Paul Mahalik face. Not sure what call he wanted.
And Shays. Horry and Barkley, and the Rockets win the battle. Drexler.
Robert Horry slow to come up the court. He's been plagued his whole career with injuries.
Big fourth quarter run for Houston. Kevin Johnson.
Horry is grimacing out there, Dick. That back must be very sore.
Kevin Johnson, 2 more to give him 39, a career playoff high for Kevin Johnson. He had 38 a couple of times last year in the series against Houston. And he's shooting almost 75% today. 17 for 23.
What a pass.
Drexler for 3. Horry, what timing to get that rebound, and Shays with the reach in.
Dick, the good ball movement after Ellie gets down the lane will set up this 3-point attempt, but Horry, the timing of a center, he waits. Jumped a little too early, but was able to hang in the air.
Now we're talking about career playoff highs, and Horry has one. That was his 17th rebound. Rebound, such a key to this series. Phoenix totally dominated in the 2 wins in the Valley of the Sun, and Houston out rebounding by a dozen yesterday, and Houston a +8 today.
You don't normally expect the Phoenix Suns to be a solid rebounding team. Good position, yeah, but the exception of Barkley and AC Green, not great big man rebounding.
Shays over Olajuwon and gets it. 4 points for Shays.
And again, Barkley urging on Shays, Harley.
3 to go. Houston by 4. A huge game, especially for the Rockets. Need a win to even the series. Cassell not there. Shays is. Kevin Johnson takes it to the hole again. 41 points. And for Kevin Johnson, he's now 3 from his all-time high of 44.
Kevin Johnson is not going to cool off in this game. Question is, can somebody from Houston score enough?
Olajuwon lucky to get that one out of trouble. Drexler for 3. Misses again. Horry, what a rebound, and draws the foul from Shays. Oh no, they call it the other way. 5th foul on Horry. What a long delay as they thought about it before they picked out the culprit.
The bottom of your screen, Horry's going to come inside. He had position.
Shays goes down, but he goes down trying to get the ball, and Horry in disbelief. Well, that's where you go back to Westfall's timeout, barking at the officials over a play involving Horry and Shays. And Shays gets the call this time. And a chance to tie.
We all learned from Rick Barry that sometimes arguing with the officials will come back to help you.
He argued. 2:18 to go. This one to pull the Suns within 1. Phoenix being a team that has shown great character here, as Houston giving up some sizable leads in the second half.
Phoenix, the #1 free throw shooting team in the playoffs, well over 82% as a team.
That's phenomenal.
Pulled
away by that person, and Horry lucky that that wasn't intercepted.
Houston is just too casual with the ball right now. Every possession so critical. Shot clock at 10.
Olajuwon with 3. Ellie with 1. Too late. No foul because the buzzer sounded and it's clock violation. I think with a play out of bounds, Houston lost track of the time on the 24. So 1:53 left. Rockets by only a point as Phoenix Suns with a 7-1 answer in the last 2.5 minutes.
Spread the floor and let KJ operate.
Barkley, home free, no, foul. Is it Horry or Olajuwon? If it's Horry, that's his 6th. And a man who has been so critical on the rebounding end for Houston may be gone.
Time and time again, you're not going to steal that ball from Barkley in that situation. Play defense. Don't gamble on a horrible situation.
Apparently it's not on Horry.
Or we're playing in Houston, one of the two.
Barkley. Now we'll need the second free throw to tie at 107. Still no word as to the foul. Unbelievable. Barkley misses both. Timeout Houston. As the Rockets retain the lead 107-106. The game in balance with 1:41 left. Welcome back Houston with a 1-point lead after 2 missed free throws by Charles Barkley, and in double checking with the officials and the score, Horry with both fouls, those last 2 fouls, but has only 5. So there was a correction somewhere in the middle of the game because the count seemed to be headed toward 6. One and a half to go. Olajuwon over Shea. Not there. Tipped by Ellie, and he's over the back. Foul on Ellie. His 3rd.
Ellie got a great run at it, but Barkley was there. Easy call. Turnaround jumper. Shea with the outstanding defensive position.
Barkley with a little bit of acting himself. And it pays off. He gets a chance to give Phoenix the lead. 24 points for Barkley today after his abysmal 0 for 10 yesterday and a total of 5 points. But he's only 6 for 11 free throw shooting. Tied at 107. 1:23 to go. One team wins, it's 3-1, and they go home with a chance to wrap it up. Houston wins, they're even at 2, and they play best 2 out of 3.
This is when the superstars come to the top. Barkley just missed 2 free throws. Houston will take another timeout. Comes right back, nails them. Now it's Akeem Olajuwon's turn.
108-107 will return to Houston right after these messages and a word from your local station.
Tonight.
The demands of these playoffs and this game, working on cramping legs. Boy, it sure doesn't tell in the scorebook where he leads all scorers with 41, outscoring Clyde Drexler. And while that matchup was pretty even at halftime, he has 41, Drexler 22. As Houston inbounds down by 1.
Post up Drexler.
Now to Olajuwon. Double team. Knocked away by Green. KJ says to Marley, go. Now pulls it up.
Now spread the floor and let KJ get to the hoop. Trying to draw a foul.
1 minute.
Coming back with Barkley.
Shea's fouled as he had the easy layup. Olajuwon and Drexler both moving in. Drexler gets the foul, his fourth.
Charles Barkley, whose numbers have not been unbelievable. They've been solid. His game has not been perfect. That's been KJ's department.
Shea's a good free throw shooter for a big man, 80% career, although only 72 this year in a limited role in Phoenix. It's a 2-point lead. Phoenix by 3.
But it was Barkley's presence as Houston takes another timeout. This is their 22nd timeout. Barkley's presence, knowing that Akeem Olajuwon was there to block on the step under. Horry, who's done as good a job as you can do defensively.
And to follow this, the first of our triple header today, play underway at the Forum in Los Angeles. And there, it's game 4 with the Spurs leading 2-1 against the Lakers. And there are a lot of fans out in the West Coast that feel it should be the other way around, that LA should have won that game too. And you talk about young sharpshooters, that Van Exel, you got to watch him as soon as he leaves the locker room. He can hit him. And then, of course, later, it'll be game 4 in Chicago. The Bulls need a victory to pull even with the Orlando Magic.
Kevin Johnson in Cassell's face.
Olajuwon had the shot. Still battles and then throws up a bad shot. Had a good shot early, turned it down, and then threw up a prayer. And timeout called by Phoenix. With 29 seconds left, the Suns a 3-point lead.
Akeem kept waiting for the defense to go for the fake. Shea held his ground. Akeem had to just throw it up there.
The Suns by 3. Half-minute left. Houston had a 15-point lead third quarter. And by the end of the third period, Phoenix led by 3. Houston had a 107-101 lead 3 minutes ago and have not scored since. And Phoenix with a 9-point run. Particularly Lakers, San Antonio, and the Spurs off to an early lead out at the Forum in Los Angeles.
Shot clock differences 9 or 10. They decided not to foul here.
And Barkley doesn't hit. And they have the timeout, their last, spent by Houston. And with 10.7 seconds left, the Rockets need, well, what they do best of all, NBA best, a 3 to tie. Just 11 seconds as they set that clock. 3-point deficit. You look at Olajuwon. It would figure here, he's the key man. You may punch it into him and then back outside. You don't need a 2 here.
But they'll all stay at home on the perimeter, guys. You look at the 3-point shooting for today for the Houston Rockets. A decent percentage. But that goes out the window. You got to get 1 to go down right now. There's not enough time left, I don't think, to go for the quick 2. Guys like Ellie, Cassell, Robert Horry can certainly shoot the 3-point shot. But Phoenix will not give them a good look. I would say they would pressure out on the perimeter and give up something at the hoop.
At 8 for 22, Bill breaks down Drexler 1 for 6, Cassell and Ellie 1 for 2, and Horry 0 for 2. And you know, you've got to think that even though Drexler has not been hot from outside, in fact, most of those shots coming short, which may be a reflection of the demands of these last 2 games in 2 days. Yeah, here you got an all-star, all-time great playing at home. It would figure if it all deals out in a dramatic way, he's the one that gets the shot.
And Kenny Smith was 3 for 4 in threes. All of those makes at the beginning of the game, but he's been a total non-factor, and now he's back in for the first time since they took him out.
He's been out of play for 45 minutes.
Most unlikely for him to be able to get something down.
Smith. Johnson on him. And Johnson with a foul. And that may have been part of the Phoenix strategy here. 7 seconds and a tick left. Send Smith to the line, and even if he makes it 2, Phoenix has the ball. And the Rockets got to think quick foul here.
I think in this situation, you make the first and miss the second. have Hakeem go over everybody's back. Try to tip it back in.
The Rockets have no timeouts left. Phoenix does.
Phoenix matching up with Drexler and Horry on the run here from behind. They went for the make, and now they've got to steal or foul right away. They're going to foul the wrong guy.
There's a foul on Ainge, and Danny Ainge, talk about a cool veteran who knows the way to the line. Ainge with a 1-point game and 5.4 seconds left. He's shooting 81% on the year.
Dick, here's a guy 14 years in the NBA, Danny Ainge. 13 of those years greater than 80% from the line.
And the playoff pressure is nothing to him. His 189th game. And here's a man who has been to the finals 5 times the last 9 years with 3 different teams. So he does just that. A 2-point lead. Remember, a 3 would still tie it, but Houston under the gun. 5.4 seconds. And they have no timeout to advance it to midcourt.
As expected, Ainge. Now Houston has to be on the run. Get Drexler, Ellie, Smith.
Vassell. And they foul again. So this is interesting. Ainge commits the foul. They burn 2 more seconds off the clock. They'll give you the 2 free throws if you can make those. And just kind of totally erode the final seconds of this game.
And they'll just give it right back to Ainge. But this is a situation now where I think they absolutely have to miss now on the second shot.
Bring in Chucky Brown, a good leaper.
The first one has to go to set this all up.
So Vassell plays that part of the role. 112-110. Now they're looking. They bring in the big man for Smith. AC Green and Barkley, the inside rebounders for Phoenix. Olajuwon and Brown will hope that they get a kind bounce. They don't. Johnson gets it, and the foul with a half-second remaining. Well, it's appropriate that the star of this game should walk to the other end to shoot 2 free throws. How can you play better than Kevin Johnson today? Charles Barkley knows best of all.
In his 8th year out of Cal Berkeley, Kevin Johnson, lifelong dream coming true again today.
Well, he's had some big games, but when he has time to assimilate and reflect, he may put this in the very top of his list. 3-1 playoff comebacks. You've seen this graphic before, only 4 times, and you have to go back 14 years for the last time someone rallied from 3-1 down. They go to Phoenix with the Suns leading 3-1. A remarkable rally by this Phoenix team. They were down by 15 in the third.
You have left, and now the penalty will be the 4th team foul before you start shooting free throws.
And the Rockets now are shorthanded. Chucky Brown was very helpful during the regulation 4 periods. Is not available. He fouled out. You see Clyde Drexler's in the game now. They're going to try to get some kind of adrenaline performance out of Drexler in this overtime because they just don't have very many bodies.
This is the 5th overtime game of the playoffs this season. 92-all. Barkley going up against Olajuwon. Hakeem gets the tip. And here comes Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith with 21 points in this ball game. 5-minute session. Horry off to Drexler. Drexler limited minutes tonight because of all the flu problems. Here's Hakeem backing in on Shays. 6 seconds, 5. Hakeem, tough shot.
That time Drexler slid to the corner, but because it was Clyde Drexler, the defender stayed out on him. It gave Hakeem a little space to operate.
Hakeem now with 31 points. His high in the playoffs was 45 at coming against Utah. Kevin Johnson missing. Shays has it stripped by Olajuwon. Here comes Drexler. Clyde Drexler's going to take this one in and dump it back out now to Ellen. Robert Horry, they leave him alone, a 3. And the rebound to Kevin Johnson.
I would think you'd want better than that. That hurried 3, the high end of the shot clock, up a deuce in overtime.
We played a minute now in overtime. The Barkley touch pass to Green, stripped to the ball. Suns will have it 10 seconds on the shot clock.
That was a heads-up play by Charles. He saw AC Green open underneath and put a lot of mustard on that pass.
Here's Barkley. Barkley, 15 points, scoring only 1 point in the second half. And it comes to Charles, backing in. And he got it as the shot clock expired. So Barkley now, maybe he's ready to step it up.
Well, that time, Gary, Robert Horry did not move his feet. If you're going to give Charles that much of a look in the lane, he's going to make them.
Tied at 94. And Shays has fouled Hakeem away from the ball. It's been Shays and Klein trying to wear down the guy who was the MVP in the NBA a year ago. Let's go back to Barkley.
See, watch Barkley. He just used his body to brush off Robert Horry. That's why he was open. He had a nice, clean look. Nailed it.
Shays picked up his 5th foul. Drexler dumps it in now to Olajuwon. Kenny Smith, 14 seconds on the shot clock. Horry looking in at 10. He wants to get it into Hakeem. Shays doing a good job on him. Horry with a 3. Robert Horry
did a nice job of faking the pass inside. Got the defender off and took a little more time and measured his shot and got it down.
9 points for Horry, who's averaged 11 in the series. Kevin Johnson ducking inside.
I'm putting him on the free throw line if he comes in there.
I tell you, Kevin has had very many of those penetrating moves in this ballgame. Houston has shut that down.
I think you got to move over and put him on the free throw line. You can't let him make that unmolested layup.
And it comes to Hakeem. 2:43 left in overtime. The Rockets by 1, and that's going to be a foul on Olajuwon. Olajuwon with 5. Shays taking a punishment, drawing the foul. That looks like one way back at the start of the ball.
Yeah, we're going to get in an argument again. I mean, there's a little bit of a flop, but there's definitely contact here. And I guess if you're gonna call it that way, you're gonna call it that way. The thing that I find kind of unexplainable is Houston is constantly spotting up the passer in the corner. And that allowed Dan Marley to come in and double team Hakeem Olajuwon. He had no place to go. He couldn't spin to the baseline, his favorite move.
So the Suns using their 22nd timeout. And Hakeem now operating with 5 fouls. Shays operating with 5 fouls. As we have 2:40 left in overtime and Houston up by 1.
I'd also like to point out that for the Houston Rockets, other than the Robert Horry 3 that we just witnessed, it's been only Hakeem Olajuwon that's been able to score down the stretch here.
Kevin Johnson with Smith on him to AC Green. Green dumps it into Shays. Dan Marley's hit a couple of big threes in the 4th quarter. Backs it out now to Kevin Johnson. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Marley try another 3. Wait a minute, they're going to wave it off. 3 seconds, lane violation.
And I'll tell you who it was. It was Charles Barkley. He had Clyde Drexler on him. He was so concerned about getting inside position that he ignored the lane. He stayed in there. He was in there a long time.
Horry a while ago with that 3 was the 10th of the night for the Rockets. They're 10 of 28 behind the line. Kenny Smith had a notion at another tray. Out to Ellie, a 3 on the way. Air ball, Horry. Horry with the putback, and he's hit 5 big points here in overtime.
Robert Horry is everywhere, but I am just amazed at the inability of Houston to find anyone else that can score besides these 2 guys. Robert Horry, of course, was a little fortunate on that. That was an air ball by Mario Elie. I mean, a big-time air ball. And good hustle by Horry, and gets a crier here that falls in.
And Horry can add to that advantage. He goes to the line. 99-96 Houston. Robert Horry with a 3, then the follow. He could have 6 huge points if he hits this one in this overtime. Doesn't get it. Green with a rebound. AC Green with a career high in rebounds tonight with 20.
You got to go back to KJ, even if he's just going to get you on the line.
And at 50 left in overtime, Barkley, Hakeem on him now with the 5 fouls. Barkley backing him in, and an illegal defense. That is the second they'll be shooting a free throw.
Well, that's not bad. It's probably the lesser of two evils because Barkley was either going to go in and score or he was going to go in and cause Hakeem Olajuwon to be out of this basketball game, or he was going to do both, score and get him out.
Kevin Johnson now 8 of 11 for the free throw line. Again, coming into this game tonight, the Suns are shooting 82% from the free throw line, best in the playoffs, now at 61 tonight.
And then now they move Horry back over on Barkley.
Into Barkley, backing in on Horry. Barkley stripped by Drexler. They'll get it back with 18 seconds on the shot clock. A lot of red shirts coming after Barkley.
Well, and a very small team in there for the Suns. AC Green is at the post position right now. It's a quick team, good shooting team, not very big.
Kevin Johnson baseline, and as he goes down the baseline, he draws the foul. The basket not counting. We have a foul inside against Kenny Smith. That'll be his third.
And I don't see anybody at the scorer's table.
Again, those of you who have joined us on TNT, we're in Game 5 in overtime. The Suns trying to close out the Rockets, and Hakeem, let's see, is it going to be Hakeem or Drexler? Let's wait. Bill Oates, I think, may have been pointing to Drexler on this foul.
For some reason,
it's Drexler, not Hakeem.
For some reason, Hakeem Olajuwon, in that little exchange, ended up guarding the wrong man. He ends up on Barkley. AC Green was supposed to be guarded by Hakeem. Nobody picked him up. AC Green just sliced to the basket and was wide open.
So the foul not on Olajuwon. It goes on Drexler. AC Green at the line. And the Suns, when they look back at this one, if they lose it, they lost it right at the free throw line. A team that was just brilliant coming in, not able to get it done here tonight. 59%. They are 19 of 33 from the line.
That's inexplicable. It's a mystery. The only thing that I can use to explain it is that they feel that they're in some sort of a comfort zone, and in that comfort zone, they don't feel they have to concentrate.
Well, they're not going to be as comfortable if they have to go back to Houston, and that's what's going to happen if they don't pull this one out. 7 minute 28 left in the extra session. Timeouts, Rockets with 2 full, the Suns with 3. The Suns do have a foul to give. The Rockets are over the limit.
Right now, Houston could use Vernon Maxwell. They need a cold-blooded, I don't care guy to just shoot the ball up. You know he's that kind of guy. He's not available to him. He's on a leave of absence. This is a short-handed team. They certainly could use the things that he could do in moments like this. Now it's going to be up to an ailing Clyde Drexler. It's going to be up to a Kenny Smith or a Mario Elie. And, of course, you've got on the floor Robert Horry and Hakeem Olajuwon. I look for the Rockets again to go to Olajuwon.
The Rockets have attempted 30 threes in this game. That is an NBA playoff record. They've hit 10 of 30.
I told you at half. They had 15 at half, and I told you they'll shoot that many or more.
They averaged over 21 a game in the regular season. That led the NBA attempt-wise. Rockets by 2 into Olajuwon. Drexler looking into Horry. Horry's had 5 big points in this overtime. Drexler to Elie, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Into Olajuwon, backing in on Shays to Drexler. He's fouled, and Charles Barkley picked up the foul. A slashy move that time by Drexler.
Very seldom do you see the Houston Rockets cut when passes are made into Olajuwon. That's something they probably should have been doing more of this game. That time it really paid off for him in the crunch as Drexler made that nice slashing cut to the basket. They had to foul him to stop him from scoring.
Barkley, this 4th foul. Drexler hits the free throw. They're shooting 72% from the free throw line. Drexler now with only 3 points in the ball game. But again, he has been battling the flu. He did not come to the shoot-around. He had to have IVs. He was dehydrated. And just trying to prevail here and try to get it to a game 6.
Well, again, Phoenix with the small lineup. AC Green's playing the center. Barkley at the power forward.
Kevin Johnson inside. Launches one over the back. I think it's going to be off of Kevin. Kevin thought he was fouled. The ball will go to Houston, and the Rockets now in excellent shape, leading by 4 with a minute to go.
Well, that time Kevin Johnson just kind of was out of control. Ended up shooting a very difficult left-handed shot.
We may have a game 6. How about these Rockets? They just don't give up. They never quit. And we're going to have now an illegal defense. That's only the first, so they'll take it out on the side. 101-97.
Let's look to see if the Rockets learned something from what happened when Clyde Drexler made that cut to the basket. Hakeem is drawing such a crowd that cuts to the basket are really available once he gets possession of it.
Suns are in really dire straits now, having their 9-game home winning streak snapped, going back to the regular season. 33 seconds, 10 seconds on the shot clock. They're burning some time.
That's a good move. Take it all the way down.
Ellie with a 3. Person comes up with a rebound, and we're going to have a timeout called by the Suns.
I'd really like to see you drive at the end of that. You got a chance to get a foul. You got nothing to lose. Settle for the jumper.
Well, the Rockets, they don't want it to end here, and it may not. West Arena. The Suns had figured they were going to end it right here. They didn't want to have to go back to Houston, but now with 24.1 seconds left in overtime, Houston with a 4-point lead. I think if you look at this Suns team, they won big here the first 2 games by an average of 23 points. They go down, get blasted by 33 in game 3, came from behind 15 points down in the third quarter. I think they just thought they could show up here tonight, put away Rudy T's team.
Well, because
they're not doing it.
They've only been involved in blowouts. Either they got blown out or they blew the other team out. They had one game that separated them, game 4, which was 4 points. Right now, with 24 seconds, they need to make something happen quickly, get a basket. A 2 or 3 will do, but then you've got a foul.
Barkley trying to get a 3 on the way, not there. Tipped out. Marley will try to get a 3 underway. Here's his effort. It's not there. Rebound by Ellie, and he's fouled. And with 12 and a half seconds left, Ellie going down in some pain. Mario Ellie's been one of the quiet stars here tonight with 13 points. And remember those slashing moves he was making, taking the ball to the hole.
I think that's established an offensive scheme for the Rockets. They came out, shot 15 threes in the first half. Mario Ellie, of course, was a key component in establishing the driving game, as you pointed out, Gary, and that also set up the proliferation of threes.
Wow.
We just saw howitzers and ICBMs flying all night.
And there's Ellie in some pain.